This can be the cheer table. You'll just grab it. Sit. You're not come here. So, camera's facing this way, and my laptop is here for promotions. So it's easy. Running things. Yeah, please. I'm willing to take any and every piece of promotion. Yeah, so just turn off the audio that's a little bit more.
I thought we were using your laptop typing.
Yeah. No, she's typing the motions on here.
Yeah.
Only for Q&A last year. I can help. Oh, she can type.
Yeah, so what happens is the way I still have to ask questions. You must raise your hand. So there's one thing, just raise your hand. I'll write your name down. Just raise your hand. Yeah. Yes, yeah. Thank you. You know the agenda?
I do that all the time. Like if you just like internalize it, your subconscious just like talks to your internal body clock and
I know.
yeah.
It's a lifetime, right?
So you start like your subconscious keeps.
Oh my God.
Like
we need to upstage. Like look, so he finds each of his TV What? Some different shit. Like they just do this.
Oh, I'm on camera.
Oh, it's in recording already. No, I don't think anyone's watching us. Oh, we have one viewer. Don't know who they are. Hello, it's me. Press hello, stop, and say, I'm randomly it's easy to randomly just do the music on the audio. And so I said hi to them, and then my friends after they left, who's that? Who's that? Oh, right.
Are we just like on ice cream running stage going through all the it's hot. Look at you. Wait, look at her face. Like, look at Gary's yeah, sure.
They're the shotgun shots.
So what happens
Yeah, just go to
Going backwards up.
she wants to go take a little walk. Oh my god!
So we're starting. Shake everything.
Yeah.
Turn to the left.
Any questions? You guys okay? Yeah. No, I'm psyched. Yeah, see, she's so nice. Hey, you guys okay?
Hey, Aiesec! Some mixed responses. I love it. I love it. We'll have our own little LC one soon enough. Cool. So I'd like to thank you all for coming to SGM today. So we're just going to get on with it. Hopefully we don't get kicked out of this room after 8 o'clock. We can push the limit. All right. So I'd just like to welcome our chair, well, our soon-to-be chair. She is our past LCP of the 13-14 term. second LCP technically, and dearest treasure inside Aiesec. I think I had the best memories inside that too. So I'd like to put your hands together for Shanice. Cool. So as you guys know, I think everyone's been through all the motions and things like that before. So we're just going to quickly go through the motions, make this SGM official, and then after that, as you can see, the agenda speeches will last 4 minutes, and then after that, we'll have 15 minutes of questions and answers. If you ask a question, please just raise your hand. The chair will take notice, and she'll write your name down, and then from there, you will get your turn to ask your question. Also allowed, so please type your question in, and Kathana will be secretary will be checking periodically for your questions as well. Cool, so that's pretty much it. Pretty straightforward. Everyone gets to listen to the speeches. Shortly, the candidates are going to leave the room, and then we're going to have them in one by one to listen to their speeches, and then after that, we'll get, and then from there we'll go for the ratification. Good. Any questions? Brilliant. Cool. So start with putting some. I have a motion on the table that reads SGM be opened on the 5th of April 2016. This is proposed by this executive board and seconded by Eric. Proposer to speak, seconder to speak. Speakers for the motion. Any general discussion? Any objection to pass it by acclamation? Let's pass it by acclamation. So, I have a motion on the table proposed by the EB. I have a motion on the table that reads Shanice Sin be elected the chair of SGM of April 2016 and be discharged at the close of SGM. This is proposed by the EB and it is seconded by Bashar. Proposer to speak, seconder to speak. Speakers for the motion, speakers against the motion. Any general discussion? Any objection to pass it by acclamation? Let's pass it by acclamation.
Okay, good morning, guys. Good evening, good morning. Okay, yeah, so you guys have had SGM before, so you guys kind of do. Great to be back. Okay, I have a motion at the table that reads that Curtin elected as secretary for SGM on the 5th of April 2016 and be discharged at the close of AGM. This motion is proposed by Aiesec Waikato and seconded by. Thank you. Proposer to speak. Seconded to speak. Speakers for the motion. Speakers against the motion. Any general discussion? Any objection to passing an acclamation? Let's pass it by acclamation. I have a motion table that reads that SGM be closed at the announcement of ratified candidates on the 5th of April 2016. This is proposed by the Executive Board of Aiesec Waikato, seconded by. Yeah. Proposer to speak. Seconded to speak. Speakers for the motion. Speakers against the motion. Any general discussion? Any objections to passing it by acclamation? Let's pass it by acclamation. That's like your very much stuff out of the way. And so tonight we're going to have our SGM, or Special General Meeting, where you're going to ratify candidates. That means these candidates, your vote of confidence or no confidence in being elected upon the executive board. So if they're given a vote of confidence, that means your LTP elect, choose them to be on the EB board. Okay, and if they get a vote of no confidence, Richard cannot choose them to be on the EB board. Okay, any questions, guys? voting process later again, just so that you guys are clear to make sure you know what you are voting for, okay? Because it can be quite confusing because it's not your typical I choose this person. You're giving a vote of confidence or no confidence based on how you know them, their application tonight, as well as their speech. Okay, so for tonight, everyone, all the candidates, we've got a lovely fun candidate, and so handsome today. Great job at stepping up to this role. Really proud of you guys. So each candidate will give a 4-minute speech, and Katana will time you guys. And when there's a 1 minute left, she will signal for one sign, and you guys know, like, okay, 1 minute left. Okay, and after that, we'll have a 15-minute Q&A session. You guys, everyone here, we get a chance to ask this candidate questions. Okay, definitely encourage you guys to do that. It's time to really kind of get to know your candidates a bit better, kind of test them a bit, and kind of have your say as well. Okay, so with that, we have Zani, Eric, Khalid, and Naveen, and Victoria. Stand up and head up. Okay, so you guys can't run away while we get ready for you guys.
Okay, let's go to the other room.
I'll bring you in. Okay.
And we're going to do
Can you just put your name so that I know all of you? What's your name? Simran?
Yes.
And this is here. Here. And you are? Yeah.
No,
Okay,
she's.
you are audience. Okay, and you are?
You can call me Aiesec.
Ari. You are? Evan. Dylan.
Patricia, I never make him buy a podcast.
No, that's all right. We're just counting you. So allowed to ask questions.
Okay, Patricia.
Cynthia. Okay, nice to meet you guys. I'm Shanice. Okay, so the questions, just raise your hand. We will bring in the first candidate. Okay, so our tradition in Aiesec Waikato is that before they come in, all you guys stand on your chairs. And then I'll announce the person, and then you must give out a massive cheer, okay? I want to cheer and like whooping and like woo, okay? So stand on your chairs and make some noise. Not yet. When I give the signal, okay?
And please, no technology during any of this issue. Or if you have any questions, please write it down on paper. Use pen and paper for everything else.
No, Richard will arrest you, okay? So get ready for the candidates, okay? Be really excited and cheer because they're taking this step. Hang on.
Oh man. Later. That's okay. You guys can move it.
I can drop too.
Yes, you can feel the darkness. Ratchet. Just kidding. Much love.
Is it just a shout?
Welcome your ED applicant, Zani
I'm really standing. I'm just moved it back. There we go. Cool. Good. Today, I would like to start with a quote from Tony Gaskin. Excuses make changes. This was a challenge set up for us by the MC at NLDS last year in November. And it's something that didn't up until we had replanning at the start of this year as an executive board. Now it is one of the main reasons that I will be reapplying for executive board, and it is one of the main factors I actually decided to give this another go for another 6 months. So what was put out as a challenge for us is to actually stop the bullshit was the term we was used. So don't make excuses. Whatever happens, be accountable for it. If something went wrong, say you were in charge of it. So just take responsibility. And it's something that, like I said, yes, it was a great concept at the time and it was something we all believed in, but it wasn't something that knew the scale of it or how much it could change us up until we went to replanning. So what happened at conferences, we all made a promise. I still have my string here, and one of my promises was to not make any bullshit excuses anymore. Every day looking at my wrist and this little piece of like a reminder of what happened, what we went through, and how much we have changed since then. So this is, like I said, the reason why is now we've finally gotten to the point where we are no longer making excuses. We're doing what needs to be done in order to reach our goals. And it makes me all these new members coming into a culture where we're not making excuses anymore. We're doing what needs to be done in order to get to our goals. There's no more because of this reason. We're going out there, finding ways to do it. And if it's not been done before, we're not afraid to step up. There's another quote that I want to tell you guys. 7 times, stand up 8 times. And this is something that I learned a lot throughout my experience in Aiesec. No matter how many times you fail, no matter how many times you do it anymore, as long as you keep trying, you're not a failure. No matter what experience you've been through, it's always the what shows your character. Stand up from it and continue on. So this is what I hope for us as an LC to be like in the future. An LC where we are not afraid, we're willing to stand up in front of people in a lecture batch and do our first lecture batch and then come out of it and say, hey, it wasn't, at least I learned something from it. And that's the most important part. If we fail, to go back and look at what happened and how we can improve it for the next time. Because it is only that we can actually learn how to improve in the future. So up here, I also have a lot of photos, and these are the people who brought me on the journey. Everyone's kind of in there. This is just from the past 9 months that I've been on the executive board. And this is what I envision for us in the future, to become strong, because family. We may not have it all together, but together we have it all. Because my strength can complement someone else's weakness, and their strength can fix my weakness. And that's how we learn from each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Manny. So now we have 15 minutes of Q&A time. Who have any questions? Any questions on the floor? Just raise your hand and I'll call on you in order.
Could you just turn off the computer, please?
I didn't do that.
Any questions on the floor? If you have any questions throughout our Q&A session, just raise your hand and let me hear. Okay, first question coming from me. So what would you say has been the failures to, and what are you going to do about it, or what can be done about it to ensure you reach your goal?
Cool. So I'd say one of the biggest failures comes from my side. The OGX numbers has not been something that we have improved on, and it's something that when we kind of sat down, we discussed. We now came up with a strategy on how to improve it. And like I said, we're no longer excusing stuff that went wrong. We're taking like responsibility for it from those mistakes. And then the second failure would be, I think us as a EB at the start, we weren't strong as we were. We finally came together at replanning, and it's, sorry. So we kind of came together at replanning, and enough to the point where we don't want to leave this dynamic that we have created. So I think we definitely improved on that.
Cool. So there's with the potential executive board positions being pulled up, so having full EB team, including an LCP, how do you see your role changing between currently what your EB position entails to how the next term is going to be, especially for the next 6 months?
So at at the moment I have the job of 2 roles, so I see that would obviously definitely change in the next when we have a full ED, and I feel that it would allow us to individually focus, especially me to focus on just one function, and allow me kind of to develop that as much as I can, because at the moment it's kind of split between the two, and just, I guess, improve on that function.
Any other questions from the floor? Okay, another question for myself. So what do you think Waikato needs moving forward? Now, it's not so much mindset, but actual plans and strategies that you're implementing in the LC.
Okay, so plans and strategies, I think, is what we've started is focusing on quality. So not just focusing on how many signups we can get, but actually focusing on how good the signups are. From there, actually ensuring that everyone is properly trained on the process of how to get someone from a sign up to an exchange, so that any person, no matter what, pick up at any point in the process and kind of do it. Because I feel like there's been a lot of not being too transparent in the functions. Everyone just kind of knows what they're doing. So definitely have a lot more transparency in functions.
Cool. So my question for you is, how do you see yourself balancing the fostering of bottom-up innovation, especially since there is only a 6-month term with myself as an LCP elect? The dynamic is going to, I believe the dynamic is going to once a new LCPE comes into the stage. So how would you balance out getting the performance, but also allowing bottom-up innovation to come from you?
So I think at the moment we have members who are willing to perform. It's no longer us having to push them to do what they want to do. And I think at the same time, when they want to perform and get those numbers, bottom-up innovation would come naturally, because they would see, I guess, that is happening and kind of find ways to improve it. And I think as an EB, we just have to focus not just on transitioning into our, like almost straight away transitioning other people into it, but also focusing on how to foster these ideas coming up from new members. So it's, I think, having a focus on it would be something that is kind of important, especially because it makes members feel more motivated and involved.
You want any questions? Yeah.
On your application, you stated there is a large number of untapped students that you didn't market to. Who were you referring? How would you tap into them as you're reviewing it?
Cool. So the large amount of students that I feel we haven't tapped into is students on campus from multi backgrounds, Pacific backgrounds, areas in the uni where we mostly market is management school, or we'd be outside, I guess, the live trying to market to everyone. But then at the same time, we're not targeting students in the engineering building, or specifically the students who would be going on, we've never tapped into that market to kind of promote these opportunities to them. So it's been a large portion of students that we've kind of just left out there. They'll come to us, but I feel that we firstly need to tell them about us before we can just assume people to kind of come towards us.
Yeah, Richard.
Good. So my question for you is, could you please describe your preferred function and how you see the structure of it happening? So what members do you want under you, and what do you want your focus to be under your preferred function?
So for me, my preferred function would be marketing and communications. And kind of how I would see it is, I feel like there'd be a bigger focus on just kind of the design side of it, having more members, but actually having specialized people who do it as part of their degree, and then teaching, I guess, more of us, because currently that's a we do have in our marketing team. But I feel that there'd probably be, I'd hope to have one TL obviously 5 or more members under them working on, like we currently do have a very clear structure on what they're working on. So every very individualized JD, just so we know we can kind of track their performance and things like that a bit easier.
I have a question coming from me. So what are the strengths and weaknesses of the LC?
Strengths, I would definitely say it's the new members who just came in. They're a different culture to what we're used to. So it's kind of focusing on keeping that culture alive. And I'd say the weakness is having to get in on this new culture, because it is something that I feel is a better culture than what we currently do have. So weakness would be getting senior members to buy in on new phase that we would be moving into.
Yeah, Richard.
So, as EV elect, obviously the winter peak will close in the next few months. How will you react when you don't reach the goals set out at replanning? How will you, because there was a lot of talk about no bullshit and no excuses and things like this, but what happens when it boils down that we don't reach our goals again?
So I think we don't reach our goals for winter peak. It's looking at what went wrong. If it was something that was a specific area that went wrong, and finding out how we could have improved it. Obviously, if we reach the goal, if we don't reach the goal, there's not much point of pointing fingers. So it is then taking accountability on what went, like what happened. But I feel like it's then pushing for a bigger influx of people going on the summer peak, because we'll only be here for 6 months. So it'll be a really quick change, and we just have to ensure that we also provide a pipeline for the people in the next minute, just so it makes their jobs easier coming in and leaving so quickly.
Any questions? Any from the live stream? So in Aiesec, we have plans and we work hard, we work smart. So where do you see the time to persevere and continue working hard and don't give up versus the time to, hey, this is not working, let's make a change in this strategy?
I think I'm a person that can see both sides, especially I think recently not doing anymore. It's taking accountability and being like, hey, this isn't working, let's find a new way to do it. Because if that way doesn't work, then we can obviously, you can always you've previously done, but just sticking with what's currently not working is not going to offer any improvement at all. At least if you try and change it, it's that kind of place where there could be great improvement. So I think it's just having a balance and listening to, I guess, members and other people in the executive board, kind of working through and making that judgment on when to kind of change and when to persevere and not like keeping on.
How do you see inter-LC collaboration with marketing? So it's specifically marketing function, don't focus on any other collaborations between the LC.
So with marketing, being currently knowing, I guess we will have the opportunity to meet the ED elects from Auckland. I think we will be having to start working early with them. And I think the collaboration could be that we share materials more freely. It's currently something that we are doing, where we have we're having the internal website where we can share marketing materials and things. But I think especially because we are so close with Auckland, if these big events or things like that that we want to do, and it's big marketing materials, driving up and being like, hey, can we borrow this from you? Or they can come down and ask us for certain things. So I think at the moment we're just collaborating on a virtual level. We're not collaborating in the sense of actually going and using each other's materials. They are larger RC and have more resources. So it's definitely something that we can do and get up to the stage where we can afford the resources.
Any other questions?
What are some issues that you're seeing So next, as you can see, two new people are stepping up into the board. Say that everyone gets elected. What happens when you look? It's just not working out. The team is actually, we can foresee that we've gone off on a bad start and we're really going downhill. As a person in an executive board already for one term, how will we make sure that we foster very good EV term for the next one coming up?
I think having been through an experience where our EV dynamics in the start, it took us 6 months, even more, to kind of fix it. So it's definitely something that I have an experience with, and if we all get ratified, obviously, then we all have been through the same experience. So I think it's then calling on what went wrong with us and seeing if we can fix it the same way. Focusing on culture building in the EV, and then from there, I think our team dynamics with even 2 new people joining in would still be quite strong. And it's just focusing on not excluding, I guess, the new people that do join in, and getting them on the same dynamics that everyone is on. And had some experience, especially with Khaled also joining in now. So I think that there's definitely the possibility of it happening, but I think we have enough experience to kind of ensure and stop it short so it doesn't drag out for 6 months. We address the issues when they happen.
Yeah. Any more questions? One last question from myself. Okay, so Aiesec were vegetable. What vegetable would it be and why?
I don't like vegetables. No, just kidding. I don't eat a lot of vegetables. If we were a vegetable, maybe something that tastes really nice, but a lot of people don't know about it. So I'm trying to think of what it is. I don't know. I feel, I was gonna say broccoli, but I feel like I'm the only person that likes broccoli. So not too sure. I feel like it's a fruit that a vegetable that people are afraid to try. But once you try it, it's addictive, and it's something that's really enjoyable. Yeah, like broccoli. See?
Hey guys, get on your chairs. I know.
Maybe
Yeah, I was thinking during. Yeah. Cool.
I'm gonna take them all. And so how is this public? Press right. So he said, well, he'll set it up, but you need help to press right. You can send it. So the projectile as well. If you know how to do that.
One thing to two things to two different things.
Good job, you learned something in this world. Good job. Okay. Guys, ready?
I'll see you next month.
Your beauty candidate,
Why is it in Chinese? Are you guys okay? Yeah. Your tutor didn't teach you very well.
That we just saw.
Are you ready? Before the turn out the timer.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Hi everyone, my name is Eric, and I'm running for LCBP for 16-17 term, and that's basically second year BBH finance student. I've been in OGX as a member and as a TL, and I've been on two OC2 conferences, and currently I'm a TM member. On to my focus areas on my EV. So OGX, documents, training, and tracking. So that means document created for general knowledge, not just OGX. Everyone in the LC, so that when they're doing goals, then they will be able to answer the questions. And quality EP, we're looking for the EP to have the right mindset, right attitude, and because EP that doesn't want to go on exchange or they don't have the right mindset, that just wastes our time and effort and manpower. Customer flow, OGX members, they need to know the customer flow by heart, because I want to shorten the time so that we don't lose any people during that long OGX process. And RIP stories, definitely stories from the RIP, photos, videos, they can be used as great marketing. And for TM, these all kind of link together. So member educational cycle and one-on-ones, they're really they can be used efficiently to keep track of different members in every function, providing assistance and sessions for achieving their goals or even additional goals. And for Mac, I think the biggest focus in Mac marketing. So we target different specific faculties. So marketing, IT, teaching, and we can do that, and we can either lecture bashing, or we can just talk to the head of department and see if we can promote within the faculty. So we do spend a lot of time on mass promoting and events. So like the Amazing Race last semester, it was really successful, and we had quite a few positive responses for and exchanges. Yeah, that's the last. That's a good quote that I like, because when it says if it doesn't challenge, that means that if you want to achieve higher goals, if you want to develop yourself, you have to step out of your comfort zone and do something that you're not used to. In that way, you can develop and change yourself. And that's why I'm here running for the VP, because it's a really challenging role, and I'm hoping that this role and this journey, I can develop myself and become a better Aiesec, a better leader. Yep, that's my speech.
We'll start with our Q&A session. Any questions from the floor? Think about it, guys.
Sure. So you ended your speech on talking about stepping outside your comfort zone. Can you describe what you've been able to step out of during your term inside Aiesec, and what you are going to do to be able to take it even a step even further and go beyond your boundaries in this?
Yeah. So I would say my biggest fear before I joined Aiesec, it was to talking to people. I was in go talking to people, and even especially talking in front of people. And throughout last semester as a TL, I do going to conferences and speaking in front of many people, and as well as doing promotion. These are the stuff that I'm not used to, even like I wouldn't even do it before I joined Aiesec. And I'd say I'm improving, I'm getting there, and definitely the EB role, there's lots of public speaking, lecture bashes and all that, and push for me to be more confident in speaking and public speaking, talking to people.
Yeah, sure.
Question. So you talk about making sure that you reach these standards to be able to be the model leader for Aiesec. How are you as EBE going to achieve this, especially before the new members of the 16B term are going to come in? Because the first impression is the first impression. That's and how are you going to make sure that you're up to the leadership, the model leader that you want to be before the term starts?
Would you like to come back to the question later?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, sure. Any questions from the floor? Yeah, Bishop.
Which is your first preference function and why, and if and what's you want to improve in the next 6 months in that function?
Cool. So if I had to rank all the functions from 1 to 4 or 5, I would say OGX would be my first preference, just because I really like what we do in OGX and seeing all these people having life-changing events and all that. And as I said in my speech, OGX piece, I would say the quality piece. And so when you do promo, you have to, or even after promo exchange briefing, you really need to get to know the person more enough to get him up, onto the process and going enough, then they might be going off track. So they're not on the right purpose going to change. So for example, I had an EP, he purpose for money, and that's not sort of direction that we're going to, and that just wastes our time. So yeah, let's say that's the big focus. So we should have improved next semester. Yeah, for this semester.
Currently, our exchange number is. What do you think is the main cause of that, and how we can improve that in the next 6 months?
I would say the reason why we had such low exchange numbers, it was because last semester, so for some period of time, we as an MC or as an LC would push the signups, the numbers, and we just go out, we get as much as signups as we want, but they're not necessarily the right EP that we're looking for, and as well as the lack of knowledge within the whole OGX, the members, even me, myself, I didn't, and the knowledge to be able to process all these EP from sign up to the end realize.
Okay, one for myself. So can you please name me 2 strengths and 2 weaknesses of the LC?
Of the
Can be anything, any function.
Okay, I'll start with the strength.
Yep.
The first strength will be this, because this semester we had so many really good members joining our LC, and that could really help our LC within every function, with performance, the leadership pipeline that they set on the LC. There will be really future TLs, VPs, and we won't lose members and lose the kind of the leadership pipeline. The second strength I would say is our sort of brand image in the university. Last semester we were constantly doing promotions, but the response wasn't that, but this semester when we do get out and all the members who are doing the promotion, we have really quite positive responses, so people were willing to leave the contact details or even fill out a survey for us. And I would say that's a really big thing that actually improves from since last semester. In this in RLC, so for, first one I would say in this is for just for ICX. We're in Hamilton, and there's not big corporation of businesses. So those small to medium enterprise, it will be less likely for them to take in TMs and internships. So we have to kind of sort of build up the groundwork. Start the semester. Second one will be so last semester we had the teaching department, and they gave us like a discount for exchanges for teaching if we had exchange, but we didn't meet that that standard, so they're not giving us this discount anymore. So we have to try to prove that we can actually get these people in exchange, and as well as talking to them.
Cool. So being a part of the EB, you're going to have to be very critical. You're going to have to say the hard words when you want to. So what I'm going to get you to do now is please give one strength and one weakness to everyone on the current EB and to everyone on applying for EB, including myself.
Okay.
One strength and one weakness.
So the current EB.
Currently.
Yeah, think about it. You kind of think.
Yeah.
It's quite a long. We'll take it one at a time, okay? So do you want to start with, who would you like to start with, for the current EB?
Start with Naveen.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so for Naveen, I think her strength is being able to talk to many people and be a good listener. She's really good at giving advices. When you have any problems, she'll be like the first one that you. And her weakness will be she's too nice. So when there's problems, she had to say no, or she had to make critical decisions, she'll kind of hesitate, or she doesn't know like the right way to reject or
Next one. Yes.
So this the strength she has, she's really hardworking. She's now even she's not in uni right now, and she's like putting all the time in Aiesec, which is really and her weakness will be she sometimes takes up too much stuff than she can handle. So there'll be in the work, and you can't get everything done. And for Khaled, he's the weakness of Khaled will be he sometimes will be too overpowering. So from someone who's like me, who's very quiet, so like in making decisions in a group or talking, he sometimes will be overpowering. So express that like the quite people doesn't really have the chance to express their opinions. And his strength will be creative. He can come up with all different ideas and solutions that you can choose. And also this is
Richard, I'm trying to use.
Richard.
No offense.
His strength will be he's willing to try different things, so he doesn't just follow the old ways to do it. He's given the EB the opportunity to try different stuff and see if it works or not, and that's really good for improving. And his weakness.
Yeah, we can go on to the current, the incoming applicants. So you got Victoria.
Yeah, Victoria. Her strength will be she's, I'd say, obviously she's hardworking. She's good at connecting with people, and she's pretty creative. And the weakness will be like sometimes when she disagrees with something, she doesn't sort of listen to other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. Richard?
I can't think of any.
Anyone else?
This is move on. Or as an English? Okay, Richard.
Yeah, so what is something different that you can bring to the EB dynamic that we already have? So what is your special, what do you think is your unique that EB can really benefit from you?
One thing?
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is I would say when it comes to thinking of solutions or decision making, I would say I'm not the type of person who would go crazy and all my thoughts, opinions, and throw it out and kind of well, I'll rephrase it. So when it comes to decision making, I'm the type of person who would so look through every solution, every decision, and I'll see which one is the best, and then I'll rethink and think about it, and at the end I'll decide which will be the best one. I won't be going crazy one, and if it works, I'll try another one. That's not this type of working.
Well, thank you very much. And for the last question, if you were a sex toy, what would you do?
And why?
A quiet one?
Oh, wow, we got something really kinky going.
A quiet one, but it doesn't work.
Specifics.
Okay.
Because other questions can be that place. If you do have any, feel free to ask. It's a very good opportunity for you to question their application. It's a very good opportunity to see what they can bring to the table.
And that will give them thinking time as well. Like about 30 seconds to think. So like the silence is okay? You guys ready for the next one? Okay, on the chair.
Questions? I've got 2 questions.
I'm sitting here, baby. That's a gun.
I'm gonna have like this. Where are you standing?
As you guys know, my name is Khaled. It's a nice photo of me. I'm excited. Now I'm going to transition to talking about each of the functions in our LC. Now, I'm going to start off with ICS. Now, the following initial term, I believe that if we're going to excel during this term, the LC needs consistency and continuity. As I transition into my role as VP, if I was elected back into this role, I would ensure the targets, the long-term targets, which have been teed up for the following semester to be achieved and well executed. Now I'm going to talk about talent management. Team is a great function which is at the heart of the organization and keeps the rest of the Aiesec machine. Team is a role which I would appreciate a chance to work in. The performance by TM is integral to the development of each and every leader. If I was elected as VP TM, I would ensure that each and every single person in the LC received a much more in-touch program, where they would meet with TM to express their thanks and best wishes for their individual development. Now I'm going to move on to magic. Quite a contemporized function. The blend of 2 functions, MAC and OGS, has created for the infusion of 2 different cultures and dynamics. I believe that this could be enhanced even further by blurring these lines. Now, creating and establishing a culture where individuals can work across these 2 borders for various activities is vital. The sharing of talent and information will enhance this function and how they perform better. Finance. Now, FA has been experiencing turbulent times. This, however, is not the fault of finance. I believe with improved information sharing, synchronized and organized budgets can be made which would provide more realistic and precise outcomes. Whether this figure is positive, I believe with more research-focused financing, we will be able to better forecast and project our financial position. And now that is my stance on the various functions in our
And now it's time for questions. Any questions on the floor?
I'd like to change the position.
Function is your first preference.
and what I would like to do on that. My preference, first and foremost, would be for ICS. That is role in which I have just transitioned into, and I've received the most amount of training in terms of the VP level, operating on an executive board level. And for that is to make sure the ICX process is achieved. I believe at the moment no one in our LC has experienced the full ICX experience from the research stage right to realizing the incoming EP. That fit will help each and every single one of every single person that I'll see better understand ICX and better understand Aiesec as a whole.
Questions? Richard?
Cool. So you talked about ICX being a preferred function. So if you do get elected into the role of assistant secretary chair for ICX, how do you see the sustainability of ICX going into future terms as well after you?
I believe we're going to achieve that through good practices in CRM and sustainable CRM practices. This is something that I've tried to emphasize in coming into this role currently, and something that I've been working consistently on improving and developing. I've just started this up. There has been no previous CRM system that has been provided to this function, and now I think with the development of this, it's going to be easier for every single term that comes after that, because I'll be able to easily see what networks we have and what networks can be rekindled and reestablished for future development. And
a question for myself. Can you please name 2 strengths and 2 weaknesses in the LC?
two weaknesses.
Strengths and 2 weaknesses in the LC.
To begin with weaknesses, I believe one weakness that we do is creativity. We lack being creative, whether it's during promotional time. I think most importantly, it's if we were more creative, we would be able to better engage a student body that we have on campus. Another weakness that we do have is information. The information sharing that happens within Aiesec, within the various functions that we do have, could be improved. I believe that this would enhance the understanding that individuals have of the organization and not be, I guess, tunnel visioned into just understanding perfectly their own functions individually and have a more holistic view of Aiesec. In terms of positive strengths, I think that we have leadership rate at the moment, and I feel like this is a group that can work towards achieving greater goals. And another strength that I do believe that is, could we come back to that strength at the end, please?
Sure. Any other questions?
So stepping into the executive board as a newish member, how do you see yourself seeing the change of the dynamic into for 16, 17? So with the addition of new members, we can definitely expect to see some changes. How are you going to make sure that you as an EP member? So what is your role in EP members?
Now, I think because I'm new to this function, I myself will not have all the answers and I will not have all the directions, but I will be somebody who will be able to listen and will be able to give ideas at the same time. Somebody who's new to a VP role, often coming in later as well, would potentially struggle to voice their opinions, and also feel there's a certain amount of, I guess, pressure for them to provide and their beliefs. And I think if I was to come into a dynamic like that in the following term, where new individuals also join the ED, I believe that I would be able to help them voice their opinions as well, because I myself know the struggle of transitioning into the be and transitioning at a very late point as well. Now, I think, so basically I'll be able to make it easier for newer members as well, because I've experienced things that is more easy.
Yeah, a question for myself. So what are two strategies for Aiesec for the next year? So the current term and the next one.
Now, the Aiesec process is the same as it used to be. This process starts with our market research, right until the cold calling, warm calling, warm meeting, and so forth. I believe that one strategy that we focus is for every single person in the Aiesec to work on the market research together. Now, we've been meeting up most recently to this market research, and I feel like going in to the following term, this is a practice that I will just see continue, because I feel like when we're together, individuals are able to sort of understand and ask each other and bounce off each other and work together to complete the market research processes. And another implemented the following term, which hasn't been done yet, is for the telephone lines at the university to be of utilization. Now, this helps us because we'll be able to do the phone calling process all together and be in one place and be able to witness each other go through the cold calling routine.
So currently you're working with Archer quite closely. What if the next MC member comes in and is not as strong in terms of Aiesec knowledge as Archer? What are you going to do as LCBE that's going to ensure the sustainability of Aiesec and the operation is not going to die down? You won't be able to continue learning from MCBE who doesn't have as much knowledge as you do.
I feel like the consolidation of these important. I've been receiving a lot of great resources from Anshant itself, and I believe using these resources and utilizing them is really important, as they won't be truly outdated to a certain extent. However, moving further on, I believe that when it comes to a point where it is outdated, working more closely with the following BCBD, I believe that I'd be able to reach out and ask her for the information that I am missing and the knowledge that gaps I do have. In her role, I would expect for her to do her research and do her part in helping us create fill the knowledge that does exist and express that we do have at that switching point is also vital to creating the reality.
Any questions before? Yeah.
On your application, you said that one of your key achievements as an Aiesec VP was that you utilized the strength of each individual in your function. I was just wondering, how did you?
At the moment, I've been doing this through focusing on individuals who are good with their phone calling and good with their confidence and helping others strengths. So for individuals that I think will not be necessarily great on phone, I've been encouraging them and working alongside them to improve their researching skills, strength that they do have also. And I believe that creating a dynamic with some individuals are good at certain processes and others and other processes, I believe can create a more.
How do you see our Aiesec structure for 16, 17, 17 jumpers? So how do you see the structure of Aiesec?
I see the structure of Aiesec being the same as it is now. As I said in my application, I believe the continuity of the processes that we do have is important to the realizations that we're going to have in the following term. It is quite difficult right now because it is nearing the middle of the cycle already, and I believe a lot of meetings and a lot of processes that are being carried out are going to be achieved the following term. And I believe that the process style is that we would be able to achieve in the following term. And if I was in that role, I would ensure that these processes are achieved. Does that make sense?
So how do you think you would
commerce is still relevant for Aiesec and Waikato, and do you see any benefits from us rejoining the Chamber of Commerce?
Yes, I do believe that a lot of it from the Chamber of Commerce is because this allows us to reach out and network with people in the Chamber of Commerce, and they'll make it a lot easier in terms of having SMEs in the local area understand what Aiesec is to a greater extent and voicing our organization. And being commerce actually gives Aiesec a voice, and we're able to speak on the problems and basically speak on behalf of the area. And I think just taking up that position gives us enough, I guess, acknowledgement from the businesses in the local community to be able to advertise and give us a better platform to present the various products that we do have on offer.
Follow-up question. So my follow-up question for you is, it's such a great benefit for Aiesec. How can you see us actually putting the financial burden of the chamber?
Budget is one thing that we've experienced over 2 years in. I believe with conferences that are coming up, I think we'll be able to be at a bigger financial position to output such a fee. And now this fee might be grand to a certain extent, especially for our LC, but I believe that is already investment.
Can you name one weakness of yourself and what are you doing to work on it?
One weakness that I do have is how many seconds do we have to play?
Pardon?
Do we have time to play?
Yes, you do.
Seconds? How many seconds is this? 30 seconds? Yeah. I believe one weakness that I do have is not integrating myself into that LC where I have a more personalized relationship with other members in that role. And I feel like that's one thing that I do want to improve, because I believe that at a bottom level, at a bottom line level, that improves culture of the organization from the bottom up. We would all be our still students, so all go to university, and I believe that having a more in-touch relationship can make the LC version.
Alright, so what was the last question? Oh, okay, cool. Question?
Okay, if Aiesec were a flower, what flower would it be and why?
That could be a sunflower, because we're all just chirping, happy.
Okay, give it up.
Questions on so this orphan has LCM right now. Yeah. So that's not watch this through LCM. Alright, congratulations.
Oh, really? Is that how you stand? It's like don't encourage it.
So you do better than that.
What's doing here?
Good sleepy candidate! Woo!
need to turn off the projector?
Yes. Oh, wait, but I have something about this.
Or you can do
Yeah. Hang on. Ready? To be or not to be? That is the question. To be or to be a leader, but not just any leader, a great leader. One that has the ability to empower others, is solution-oriented, and is a world citizen. Do you think that you fit this description? A year from today, a very shy, quiet girl entered this organization. She had a very low self-esteem and had a massive self-doubt. Thanks to the past year of her experience, she's now standing here in front of you today, extremely nervous, but faking it till I make it. So, yes, I have come a long way, and Aiesec has helped to shape me into the person that I am today. And personally, I would love to have the opportunity to be able to do the same for every single one. I'm standing here today because I want to help make a difference in the world, to help create better leaders for a better and brighter future and world. Leadership starts here with every single one of us. It's not something that we are born with. It's something that we develop into over time. It's important that you take the initiative to make the most of every single opportunity that comes your way. Therefore, I would like to play a part in ensuring you become the best leaders that you possibly can be. I asked a question at the start. To be or not to be? And my answer, of course. We can all be great leaders. Aiesec was the channel for us to do this, and now we just need to ensure that our LC and members can work towards new and soaring heights. As an EB member, I would first of all have the as I am currently in an EB position. And secondly, I would have the vision that a leader requires. This is shown throughout my goals, plans, and achievements that I've made. So I'm sure you all want to know a little bit about me. Of course, I'm Naveen. I come from a family of 4, live from here in a town called Tauranga. In the end, born and raised in New Zealand, and yeah, I'm currently in my 3rd year of uni doing Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Law. And I love music, shopping, hanging with friends and family, and getting involved with helping others. Future goals, whatever I do, I just want to help make a positive difference. So why would I like to apply for the executive board? There are numerous reasons listed up there. However, for me, the main ones are to first of all, spread awareness of Aiesec, to see the vision that I have for our LC coming to life, and to help develop all of you to your fullest potential. And of course, these are some of the qualities and past experience and that I have, which all of you guys have hopefully read through in my application, so I'll move on. So, like I said, I described this a lot during my application. However, key focuses for each function for me would be MAC, improving the materials and strategies that they use, for OGX, ensuring processing at each stage, for ICX, making sure that all of the members are highly trained in salesmanship, and for FA, customer relationship management and ensuring that guidelines for FA are in place, and for TM, ensuring that we have education for our members, culture within our LC, and transition materials. And that's thank you.
Yeah, we'll have a Q&A session. Really, we'll have thinking time as well.
Any questions on the floor? Start with Bridget.
Cool. So my question for you, congratulations on that. My question for you is, how do you see, you just talked about improving OGSs. What do you see as the current quality for this function, and how will you mitigate it?
I think the current bottleneck for this would be, first of all, tracking where we are at each stage of the OGX processes, and second of all, setting deadlines for ensuring which stage of the process is achieved at which certain time. Because at the moment, we're just kind of going with the flow, and once we finish one thing, then we move on to the next, but we should have more concrete deadlines set in place for us to do this.
So if you were elected, what would you do differently from this current leader?
I think going off of my experience, I think the first thing that I would ensure is that all of the executive board has a lot of time at the start to bond and get to know each other. Team dynamics is really, really important within the LC, as I'm sure you've experienced. So I think if we can work on that and solidifying our bond, then that would be carried through our middle management and onto our entire LC. Yeah, sure.
Which is the preferred function and why?
So my preferred function is talent management, just because I love to work with people. I love to see others grow and develop, and it just brings me so much happiness. And I talked about that in my application as well. And personally, I think it's where I'm best fit for.
Okay. A question for you, and it is, how do you see the culture developing in Aiesec Waikato? 1 year's time, and also like from here on, really see Aiesec Waikato growing from there.
I think ensuring that all of our members feel comfortable when they come into the organisation. It's very important to build rapport with every one of our members, so that creates builds trust within each and every one of us. And when you have trust, you kind of can rely on each other to make sure that you work to the best of your ability and get it done. And just kind of becoming more of a family. Often you hear a lot of Aiesecers talking about, how Aiesec is my family and everything, and it'll be really cool if we could kind of every single person in the LC saying this. And a year after that, I think I would see us basically having a huge network of Aiesecers, which we can call our family. The next question from Kevin.
Given the fact that Aiesec is a new function, do you have any ideas or plans to help Aiesec's function to get to the same level as every other function?
Aiesec is a front house operation, so it's very important that each and every single one of the other functions help to support it. We have to make sure that we work together as an LC to do that. Something that I would suggest, which I don't think has been looked into at the moment, is looking at the current Hamilton City Council report. It was released a few months ago, and they talk quite a bit about the business sector in there and where there's demand, where the weaknesses and stuff. So that would be something to do.
Last term we started as a big LC, but we lost lots of members in between. Why do you think is the main cause behind it? How we can solve that problem? So we can retain the quality members.
So I believe that this is something that's already been addressed this semester. Last semester we were kind of in the midst of kind of reviving our LC. We were kind of in a low state, and we were focusing more on the quantity of members and the quality. So we kind of, I guess, I think we've kind of solved that issue at the moment. So I don't see any other things to say about that.
So what has been done about that one?
So the process was a lot more streamlined, and we ensured that we raised the quality of each of our members. So we only took the best list that we could find, opposed to taking everyone that applied, which we did last time. Any questions? Richard?
So member election cycle is definitely one of the biggest focuses for TM. What do you see as the current, how do you assess the LC right now in terms of the biggest knowledge gap that members have? What are you going to do to make sure that this is all, that members have been taught this information coming in?
I think first of all, ensuring that they know the ins and outs of how we operate as an LC. So at induction, we had a simulation on the final day, which the feedback from that was, so many members, even the senior members, they were like, oh, we didn't realize how much work the EB has to do and how much we all contribute towards the larger picture. So ensuring that they will that and kind of think what activities like that simulation. And also, we are a leadership development organisation, so ensuring that we have a lot of workshops which our members and actually help to develop them as a leader, and not just them kind of carrying out all the tasks they do within the functions.
Question for myself. So as a Waikato in past years, history as a Waikato, it has a very very family, very teamwork family, culture where it became a lot about experience with feeling of being part of this group. How are we going to ensure that it's not just that, but it actually translates into performance and results for the organization?
So like you said, that's so true, because within our current EB, we have the same problem, and we have replanning, and that I think helped to get rid of all those problems. Like the replanning, we came up with concrete plans, and it wasn't just about making sure they're like a family and we work well together, but it's actually ensuring that we have goals set, we have plans of action in place to achieve these goals, and contingency plans to achieve these as well, and making sure that our deadlines and goals are met. So real intense, specific planning, I think, would be the key to that.
Alright, so you're getting into your fourth year studies, am I correct?
Next year.
Next year, yeah. So your third year, going into fourth year, you can be considered like a senior student at university. Workload only going to be increasing, especially at the end of your academic year, because more things like that. How do you see yourself balancing out time issues, time management for your executive board?
I'm usually someone who even if I have a lot of work to do, I ensure that I get every single thing done. Even if that means no sleep at all, that's usually what I have to do. And I'm totally fine with it. I'll work on ensuring that I prioritize all of my tasks and plan things carefully, for every day, which I think is something really important to do. And Aiesec is something that I'm really, really passionate about. It's real up there for me, because I want to put just as much back into it. So I definitely get all my Aiesec work done.
Let me rephrase the question. Are you going to make sure that you also alongside your
Okay. I think over my term, I kind of learned how to delegate tasks to my members and my team leader and stuff, and also working together within the ED. So I delegate to be delegated, and then get help from Evie if I need to or not, and just ensure that, you know, I am being healthy, and if it gets too much, then I'll put in place to make sure that that's fixed.
Okay, one question for myself. Can you name a weakness and a strength for the current ED and the current applicants? So one weakness and one strength.
So I'll start with strength for Victoria is that she has a really high quality work ethic, which I think is going to be excellent for the ED. A weakness I would say for her is that she can sometimes be quite sensitive or slightly judgmental with a few things, but and also the fact that she tends not to voice her opinions if it's something personal because she wants to avoid conflict, but things that can kind of build up and cause more problems later on. Khaled, his strength is that he's so friendly. He's honestly like, he's such a good guy. So friendly, but in terms of work-wise, he gets all his work done to quite a high standard as well. Like he puts in a lot of commitment, which I think is really good. It's really important for our organization. A weakness for Khaled would probably be that he finds it hard to say no to some people at times. Eric, his weakness is that he's too quiet at times and he needs to improve his confidence. Strength for Eric is that he's a really good listener. Yeah, he's a really good listener and he seeks help when he needs it, which I think is very important. And Luz, a strength at Olazandi is that she's really good at creating culture. Wherever she goes, like she brings us to a positive vibe with her, which is so cool. A weakness for her would be, oh gosh, I know her so well. I was trying to think of like a good weakness. I guess just like her work sometimes and making sure that it's done on time, that can kind of hinder the rest of the team at times. But I mean, at the moment it's not, but it's something to potentially be aware of.
And Richard?
Richard, strength for Richard is that he's always there to help and as an LCP, and I'm just so thankful that we have him as an LCP. I'm not just saying that because I don't play, but I genuinely mean that. Yeah, he like knows everything, so we know where to go with him. And then a weakness for Richard would be oh my gosh.
Come on, Father, you can do this.
I'm ready to run.
I guess sometimes just with the way that things are dealt with, like in terms of, I guess, it's a real team dynamics, like personal issues. It's nothing too bad, but just ensuring that like things are dealt with in a timely manner. If there's something that you know could potentially turn into like a bigger issue, then you need to get onto it straight away instead of being like, oh, I'll see if that happens.
Okay, last question for myself. If Aiesec were a type of furniture, what would it be and why?
I guess the chair, because we help to like support people and keep them, you know. Yeah.
I thought you were watching the live stream. I was. Alright, last minute of the day, now let's do something in the gym. Sorry? Yeah. Well, we might do motion outside or something, but let's try and get that Q&A and speech for 5 to 6 minutes over time.
Now say your ED applicant!
I think that works.
All right. Okay. Okay. Well, hey guys, really see you all here and thank you for coming in. Just to make my speech a little more entertaining, I suggest we play this little game. When I finish my talk, the first person who says bingo will win chocolate from me, and that way I'm guaranteed your attention and you're guaranteed someone yelling out bingo prematurely. Anyways, let's get into it. I hope all of you know me already, but in case you don't, well, my name is Victoria and I want to be a vice president. If you didn't have a chance to talk to know me a little better, you probably know me as that Asian Russian girl with an American accent. Well, I'm here today to tell you a little more about myself, just so you don't see me as this anymore, and just tell you how I got here. Well, it all started about 150 years ago when my great-grandparents they decided to move to Russia. 3 generations later, I was born. After I finished high school, I decided that I wanted to see the world and to go and travel somewhere. So I moved to Canada, where I spent the next 2 years of my life going to college and just studying hospitality there. As the graduation was approaching, I had to decide whether I want to stay there or whether I wanted to go somewhere else. And that was the time when I came to New Zealand to visit my sister in 2014. And I really loved the country, so after I graduated from college, I came here, and that's how I ended up at the University of, and that's how I joined Aiesec. So these are the positions that I've had in my Aiesec career, and if you looked at other candidates' applications, you'd probably see that I have the least amount of experience because I only joined last semester, whereas everyone else has been in Aiesec for more than a year. Well, I don't think that's a disadvantage. I actually think that I'm still a good fit for a vice president's position, and mainly that is because I have a really clear vision and I know where I want to be and how to get there. And my main focus and my ED plans would be you guys. I truly believe that the LC members is the best asset that we can utilize. And also, it says here, choose a job you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. I believe that if the EB creates the environment that the members are enjoying themselves and having fun while doing all the work, then the Aiesec is not going to be seen as work anymore, but it's what we want to do. And that's when we're going to see the results. So Aiesec has been a really big part of my life in the last year. And I truly believe that I am ready to take the next step now.
Bingo.
So now we have a Q&A session. Any questions from Bob, Dr. Shah?
Which is your preferred function and why, and what you plan to do in that function in your elected term?
So I think my first choice would be TM mainly because I already have the experience. I've been in TM for almost semesters now, and that's probably the function that I know the best. And also because as I already said, my main focus would be the members, and I think that's the function that supports this culture the most. And what I would do, there has been a lot of improvements comparing to last semester done in this function, but I would just try to keep it to the same level and try to improve it in other ways as well, including like recruitment and member development and all that. We do have a lot of new tools that we just implemented this semester, such as the member education cycle and the personal development tracker and stuff like that. So it's a really new to us. We're just going to try it out this semester. So if I get TM function next semester, I would just try to keep it, to continue using it and to just improve the level that we are at. Any questions?
Okay, my turn. Okay, can you name 2 strengths and 2 weaknesses of LT?
I have that in my, I'll take a couple of minutes. Yeah, all right. So for the, I think the 2 biggest strengths that we have is, first of all, it's the very engaged new members, because last semester I wouldn't say that we had as good of a quality of all the members, or at least not all of them were engaged, whereas this semester I can see that we are already doing very well. So I'm really proud of all the new members that joined this semester, and I think that's a very big strength of ours now. And another one would be the fact that, well, that's my personal opinion, I guess, but I think a friendly relationship between the EB and the members is also a very big strength, because we're in some LCs and some bigger LCs, say Auckland, they might not have as much interaction between EB and members. We have the opportunity to actually get to know every member on a personal level, and I think it's the quality of our relationship. And the 2 weaknesses, the first one would be the lack of training materials for new members, and that's mainly because I was told that from the previous terms, the EB didn't really track of things in writing or in documentation. So basically, when the current EB came to their term, they had to create a new system, and they had to create many new things because they were not left with the appropriate training materials and all that. So that is, we're working on it. And I think comparing to the last term, we have already improved significantly this term. And also another weakness would be the absence of transition process within the leadership pipeline. And that regarding the, I guess it would apply to the current EB as they have been introduced to the EB roles without even having the TL role, so there wasn't an actual leadership as supposed to be.
Okay.
So as being in the TM function and wanting to be a TM as well, TM put out, what do you see as the biggest or gap that members have right now, and how do you hope to improve this, make sure that members learn about?
I think the biggest knowledge gap would be in because, well, just judging by the previous semester, I didn't have any people that were on this change. That was probably because the members who were in OGX function, that was kind of their job to take the signups to realization. They did not know how to do that. So I think that will be the biggest gap in the LC. Knowledge.
And how would you ensure that this knowledge gap is fulfilled?
Oh, well, I think for the OGX VP as well as the TL to pass the knowledge onto the new members, and yeah, it taps to the leadership pipeline again. So the senior members should pass their knowledge onto new members, because last semester, I think pretty much most members were new. That's why it took time for them to be introduced to all the Aiesec stuff, because there is a lot to remember, and OGX especially. So yes, I think it's just really important that we pass the knowledge on to new members from the senior members instead of just putting Aiesec here. It's just, yeah, right?
As you stated, was that the lack of cash reserve in the LC. Do you have any ways to fix that?
Yeah, well, I said that it is a weakness because it is true, and that's mainly because our previous experience, our previous functions were not functioning as well. So mainly we have, I guess, where the cash reserves come from is from sponsorships, which is the business development function responsibility, and since we haven't accumulated any sponsorships, that's why we are lacking the cash reserve. So I think one that would fix it is if we create partnerships and sponsorships with companies and as well as with the university, and that would definitely help us to innovate. Also, yeah, well, I think that's the main thing. Also, by organizing things such as conferences, believe that if we have any leftover money from conferences, it would stay in the LC. So yes, it's mainly, I guess, just budgeting stuff. So if we improve the budgeting process and ensure that we're not spending money on something we don't need to spend money on, that would also improve the budget.
Cool. So you're running for the position of VPTM, and you're already a TM, and you're a VPTM above you. So a lot of TMs in that. But what I want to ask, if you're running for VPTM, what is something that you can do better than the big American position?
We're running out of time, I think.
Yeah.
Yep, so I believe that Naveen does a really, really well job in terms of ensuring that the members are learning and providing them with different trainings and stuff. That's what we did last semester with the leadership development seminar. And the thing that I could do better, I think, I would focus on creating the LC culture, because I think that it's also a really big part of TM, like a really big responsibility I have is to create the LC culture. Not only create the development culture, but also like the fact that like to make all the functions interact with each other and to know each other. Just for the LC to be more of like a solid piece. I would say that it's also a TM function. team responsibility to do that. So I don't think that the team is focusing on that as much. It's more like different functions working separately, and that's what I would focus on, and I think that would.
Assume that if you don't get a VPTM role, you get a VP of some other functions. Can you please explore all the functions, just a little bit your overall plan for the next time?
Well, it really depends. I actually, it's not that I'm only interested in TM. I would not mind looking at other functions. It's just, I said that it's my first preference mainly because it would take me less time to be introduced to the role. But I'm I would be happy to get any other function basically. So, and so if I got OGX, I don't think there was an appropriate knowledge passing line, so that's what I would improve for OGX. Just make sure that all the members are trained, which I actually do see right now that there has been major improvements in that area this semester, but that's the direction where I would go. If I was a VP, I would also make sure that we are doing our best in terms of contacting people, the outside people, and create partnerships with Aiesec. Making them create partnerships with Aiesec because that hasn't been done last semester by VP function, and I think we lost a lot of that. And yeah, so that in terms of the TNs, finding TNs, as well as the sponsorships and university relations. Yeah, and what else is it?
Finance.
Oh, I'll start with math. So if I was a VP math, I would focus on events mainly because I think that was a really big thing last semester when we did the amazing race. It was so that's what we can learn from, and I think that organizing different events like that really does help raising awareness about Aiesec. So that's for math. And for finance, I know that they just started using the MYOB system, and I would ensure that the senior members get to know the system well enough to be able to train incumbent members, so the ones that join next semester, because it's actually a really huge thing. It's a real accounting software, so if we would be able to provide the training on that, it would be a really big benefit for accounting and finance students, and it would be a really big thing for them. It'd be reason for them to join it. I do not know myself how to use it.
Okay. Second last question from Bridget.
Right, so, how are you as an ED elite, if you become ED elite tonight, going to try to put, bring a team dynamic together? So, after everyone is selected, what are you going to do differently to make sure that you start connecting with me as LCPE and other ED elites?
Within team dynamics with ED?
Just within ED. You have 20 seconds to give that question.
Well, I think we, as any other team in the world, would go through the 4 stages of team development, so the foreman, storeman, workman, performance, and stage. I think the main reason, main objective would be to set the expectations from each other for the upcoming term, because it's really important to know what we expect from the quality of work and how much time commitment we want from each other. And also that will be the stage at which we would be bonding formally as well as informally, because I believe that personal relationships built with people also help to improve their working process. That I believe that there is a forming stage at which we would have some conflict, we might have some conflict, and the main thing about it is just to be able to overcome it I think from all the EB candidates, I believe that we are all very reasonable and won't be a big problem to go through the conflict.
Thank you. Yeah, so we're gonna come to the last question. So if Aiesec were a piece of jewelry, what would it be and why?
Yeah, 10 seconds.
I would say a ring, like a wedding ring, because it's something that's really small and something maybe not even as noticeable for people who just look at us, but it's really something really, really important for those who hear it.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna bring all the next inside this. So we're gonna go through a voting procedure. I'm gonna have a little ballot box over here, and you guys can chuck it in. We're only gonna give 5 minutes or so. So all the senior members can vote. Unfortunately, by competitive, newbies can only have speaking rights at a general meeting.
So I'm not here, when we bring the candidates in, you're not allowed to speak to them, okay? And she doesn't to you as well, okay?
Normal voting.
So speak to them. Okay, guys. So another round of applause for your candidates. Okay. Remember, we're gonna give you guys a piece of paper, and what we want you to do.
Yeah, just take a seat, please.
Take a seat. Far away from you. So you can't speak to the people, okay? Confidentiality, whatever issue. Okay, so on the piece of paper, please write down the 5. Hopefully you all can spell your lovely candidate's names. And so the way voting works is either you vote confidence or no confidence, okay? So just write the name. For example, it's like John. I have confidence in John, you write John/confidence. Okay? And if you have no confidence in John, write John. Okay? So write all their names and confidence or no confidence. Just one, please. Don't write both, okay? Or by their names, okay? Any questions about that? You guys understand? Okay, cool. Senior members, you give them out. Who's your senior members?
Alright.
So you guys have a pen. You have a pen next to it. Yes.
No, I have some pins now.
Okay, Richard has a pen. Don't let people see, okay? Because like your candidates are in the room.
Can I get a show of hands? Please silently raise your hand if you need it.
You guys to vote the candidates we can get you out.
Yeah.
We're going to go get drunk after vote so that you guys can go and get them.
Alright, and so I would like it if we could keep this within like, so everyone's had sufficient time to listen to their application or read it. So please make a
Just 5 names and confidence on one.
When you're ready, please just come up and put it inside the box. Fold it up, please.
How many names did you have?
Sorry.
How many names? Okay. Thank you. Okay, that's the sugar mamas. Okay.
Alright, so have all the senior members voted? Oh yeah, well, I'll just talk about that now. Yeah, I'll just
You're drunk, you need to get drunk.
Yeah, so what's gonna happen now is, firstly, who wants to get drunk with these people? Or who wants to help you get drunk?
You get drunk, okay?
You guys, yeah, I'm only going to choose two, so paper, scissors, rock between the three of you. Go. Paper, scissors, rock. You guys have one.
You're the amateur.
Out of no, all three at once. Two. Alright, paper, scissors, rock. No, paper, scissors, do it again. Paper, scissors.
Wait.
You guys are just standing there.
Oh, sorry, go.
Yeah, you see, yeah.
Alright, go. Hurry up.
Okay, guys, entertain yourself. We're going to talk about. You guys going to dance and going to sing?
There was this thing that came up and it was like, name it. And no one got. And I was like, she's just gonna be another.
Either it's been always been.
Yes, processes, it goes to like, which one is the process? And then you just, and then she was like, it's like, I don't know, it was another. Obviously, the one who believes. Oh, but overall, it's 5%. Yeah.
Alright, so can I get 5 people, please?
Yep.
Right, because I need you guys to fill this up with water, because you're going to fill this over
The last one was alright. I don't know how I had to read this compared to someone else's.
Is it enjoying mine? No, I think so.
Mine's so long.
I think so.
So I basically like the first bit, the kids got like really good answers. It was just like, yeah, you go, here's what you mentioned, here's this. So the silence, I was just like, here's information you want, like take it, and here's me applying it and how we can improve. And that was really good. And then I got to go through like blah blah blah, same thing. And then so when I got to the one of the product, actually it was story. So I was like, Oh,
yeah.
They wrote like that. And I did show, I showed them, I was like, I didn't answer the questions. Like, I didn't answer one of the questions, that's why I put it down. And just like, I think they want to be like, here's the answer. Like, yeah. Like, forms in it. Well, that's, yeah.
He's just the random.
So I was thinking if I can keep that the same, but like maybe get more information so I'm like,
I think it's just clear. It's in the windows, but
Yeah. So my second one,
It's just,
I'm just like, I heard some like, little, it's just like random little like, native bird detector, because it's my products. Native bird noise detector.
What are your products?
Oh, that was like, so one of them. And, I was like.
Oh, you guys down for, guys, you guys down for dancing after this?
I am.
You go back to uni?
Yeah, I love this.
Oh,
Yeah. Just Casey also involved with the left.
Anyone know possible? Possible,
Possible, right? Oh, that hurts, doesn't it? Oh, very good.
$3 drinks in town. Yeah, if you say you work at a hospitality place, you get $3.
Oh, just say it.
Yeah, I'd like to, so you work there, Red Stag,
Oh, shit.
and Snow. Yeah. Oh,
Oh, yeah, awesome.
yeah, I still work there, but it's like 2 and they leave.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm gonna do it.
Like $3 drinks, yes.
We might just take up first.
Sure. You want that off? The beats, I think, the rockers.
No idea. Is it pouring water? Are you not pouring water?
I am.
Who's not pouring water? Well, do you mind holding the laptop and live streaming their
Yeah.
water?
Yeah, it's.
Oh, that's recorded.
Should I bring it?
Come on, Lord. That's a good Asian
Stuff down or something. I think he meant pack up as in just like. That's alright.
I'm not mad at it, I'm not mad at it.
Do you guys? It's actually live. People can see you.
I'll do a hugger.
Oh, this is probably it right now. There's no. Oh, because it says views at the bottom somewhere.
One view.
Yeah, one person.
I think you want to use outside and tweets and things.
Guys, this is what the 13, 14, I think.
It's so.
Oh, it's a small girls.
Oh, that probably got me.
Oh, yeah, get those pics out. Alright, everyone.
Again, we need you outside. You finish all the other ones.
Where do I sit? Fesana?
I think I'll call you soon.
Oh.
Like just being live.
Yeah.
Alright, please have the waters ready.
Hold on.
Like, bitch, take off your watch. Strip show.
I'm watching.
My toes are really close to your body.
Okay, guys, get ready, okay? So. No, this is for people. Okay, so now, the people who have gotten the vote of confidence, those who are ratified for Richard. Don't get killed by the logic shoes. Okay, and your first ratified candidate is the zombie granny.
Congratulations to all our ratified candidates. I get out.
Guys, good job, good job.
Thank you for LCP and the cheer Shanice. Thank you for tuning in and hope you guys watch the replay. See you guys next time.